السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونصلي ونسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبعد. Uh, we are going to start today, inshallah, the short uh, uh, course or lessons or lectures, whatever you want to call it, in Iman, in the English language. I will try to explain as much as I can. I will use some Arabic words so you can recognize the definitions. You have to try to memorize the definitions in Arabic as much as you can, because you will see it and pass by it a lot of times. It's very important, and it's important for the person himself to know this Arabic definition of things. So when we talk about Iman, in fact, we talk about a very important component. Not very important. It's like the tawam, it goes hand in hand with Tawheed, because there's no Tawheed without Iman. Tawheed without Iman is hypocrisy. And Iman, and there is no Iman without Tawheed, because Iman cannot happen without Tawheed, because we know that it would be what they call zandaqa, zindiq, which appears to be say in the everything is my heart, but he goes and do everything kufr and bid'ah and sins and stuff. It doesn't work. So Tawheed and Iman are parts of each other. Why do we speak? Why we talk about Iman on its own? Why don't we include in Tawheed? Because when we look at Iman, as we are going to see now, we see that there are lots of components of Iman. The Arabs used not to they didn't need, there was no need to make all this understanding and explanation stuff. Why? Because the word itself reflects all the meaning to them. Now it doesn't reflect that to us, let alone to those who don't speak Arabic. I mean, for those who speak Arabic now, it doesn't reflect not even 1 in 100 of what it means in Arabic. At the time of Rasulullah Sallallahu, the time of Sahaba and Tabi'een, you only say the word, like you say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, they know right away that, oh, then I cannot take orders from anybody else. I cannot obey anybody else. I have to leave all the types of shirk. I have to do all the laws of Allah. Just hearing the word, you don't have to explain. There was no course in Tawheed at the time of Rasulullah. There was only proofs of Rububiyatillah and asking for his and saying, A'budullah, A'budullah. But there was no explanation of the word A'budullah. Worship Allah. Worship is part of Abdul. We have to understand that the definition, ibadah, is much more than worship in English. Worship in English is to consider the creator as a creator and giver and merciful and all these names and attributes, and that's it. But in Arabic, it reflects doing that and hence obeying. If there is no hence, there is no ibad. You're not making ibad. But worship, like in Christianity, they go and worship Jesus and then they go do everything. They commit adultery and go, and they don't see it as if it doesn't conflict with anything because there is nothing there. Islam is not like that. So the words doesn't reflect the meaning anymore. And we know that words are only made to reflect meaning. It's about meaning. If you can convey the meaning, you don't need words really. Like those who speak with the sign language, they don't use words, but they still understand everything and feel happy and feel sad and feel love and everything. Why? Because the meanings reflect the meaning. So words are not meant to be for itself unless it is like the high level of Arabic poems and stuff. This is for the brain to enjoy. It's an enjoyment. But for the meanings, words are made for meanings, to reflect, to convey meanings to the person. If it doesn't convey the meaning, it means it doesn't mean anything. It's useless. So Iman now, why we discuss Iman? Because we don't understand the word. We have to understand the word. What does it mean? And to understand the word, we have to look at it in Quran and look at it in Sunnah and look at it in the use of Arabs, because Quran and Sunnah are reflected and conveyed to us in the way the Arabs used to understand at that time. Those who are familiar or make themselves familiar as much as they can with the society, with language of the Arabs at the time of Rasulullah, those who understand Islam more and more. Those who keep themselves away and say we are modern and this and that and we don't have, there will be always a hijab between them and the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant and Islam meant by all these definitions, because it's reflected in the way Arabs live and Arabs talk. Not now, at that time. We all don't know what it is. I mean, I know about it as much as you do. It doesn't matter that I speak Arabic now, and I am born 1300 years, well, 1350 years before Rasulullah Sallallahu. So after Rasulullah Sallallahu. So how can I know? I study, I look into it, I try to make myself familiar with it to understand what does it mean, this word, what does it mean, how is it reflected, how it is used in or in shaping the life of the Muslim as required by Rasulullah, because he is the messenger, not as reflected by what I understand now and live by now. That's your own Islam, that's your own version, it's your own definitions. I don't care about that. I'm following Rasulullah. I'm not following myself, Hawa, or I'm not following you as a taghut or as another god. So that's the importance of conveying the meanings of words and definitions. So it is, it is uh, like it is. It gives us what we have to absorb, what we have to understand, and hence we have what do we work? How do we work? Because work goes hand in hand with understanding. If you don't understand, you cannot follow the unknown. Nobody can follow the unknown. If something is unknown to you, how can you claim you follow it? You can't. That's why ignorance can never be with real Islam. How? How can you believe in something you are ignorant of? absolutely impossible. It's a logical impossibility. So that's why we have to understand. So when we talk about Iman, the first thing to look at, we look at Quran and Sunnah and see, like we said, Quran, Sunnah, and the way Arabs understand the words in linguistically, and their habits and what they do. So when we look at the word Iman, where do we find the word Iman? We find it in Quran and Hadith. We find in some of the surahs of Quran and Hadith, we find that the word Iman came with a specific meaning, and the word Islam carry a specific meaning, other meaning. Islam here means Tawheed. We talk about Islam and Tawheed, and Islam the Tawheed. Islam is Islam as Islam. So Iman has meaning, Islam has a meaning. Like in Hadith of Umar, the Hadith, the well-known Hadith, the Sahih Hadith of Umar radiallahu anh about Jibreel, when he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and say, yeah, "Oh Muhammad, what is Islam?" He said, to say, La ilaha illallah, word of Tawheed, to pray, to fast, to give out zakah, and to make Hajj, if you are capable. So Jibreel said, that is true, or the man who manifested as Jibreel. Then he asked him, what is Iman? See, he made a distinction. He said, what is Islam? And then what's Iman? So the Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to believe in Allah, His angels, His books, His messenger, the day of judgment, and Qada and Qadar. And then Ihsan, he said, to worship Allah as you see, as if you see Him, but if you don't see Him, He sees you. So it's the same result. So you see here, Islam and Iman, everyone came. Islam came to profess the actions, say La ilaha illallah, qawl, saying, Salah, Zakah, Hajj, uh, fasting, soul actions. Iman came in the meaning of heart actions, like actions by heart. Believe in Allah, in my angels, in the books, in the prophets, in the message, these things. So this gives us here a distinction between what Islam means and what Iman means. So Islam is out, the manifested the actions, and Iman is the beliefs in the heart. But wait a minute, we find other ayahs say otherwise or indicate otherwise. Not that Quran is conflict, no. It gives us, we will see the conclusion, what it gives us by saying this and that. Other ayahs and hadith indicate that Islam and Iman are the same. They are interchangeable. You can remove Islam, put Iman. You can remove Iman, you can put Islam. Like for instance, in Surah about Qawm Lut. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he evacuated. فأخرجنا منها فأخرجنا ما كان فيها من المؤمنين فما وجدنا فيها غير بيت من المسلمين. Then we evacuated those of the believers who were there, but we found not there any just Muslim person except in one house. So he used the believers, the mu'mineen, as interchangeable word with غير بيت من المسلمين. So Iman and Islam is the same here. So we wait a minute to see how these work together. In some other ayahs and hadith, Islam was mentioned and includes actions and includes the inner beliefs, what Iman means, and sometimes Iman was mentioned in ayahs and hadith and includes actions, Iman. like what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, only these are believers who have believed in Allah and His Messenger, الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله, and have never since doubted, but have striven with their belongings and their persons in the cause of Allah. وجاهدوا في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم. So see, he said, believe in Allah. Those believers believe in Allah and make jihad سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم, with money and person. So he includes both of them. Iman includes both of them. So what do we make of all these different use of the Islam and Iman? Like in Hadith, مثلا Hadith عن أبي هريرة, he said, الإيمان بضع وسبعون شعبة. Iman is over 70 branches. أعلاها قول لا إله إلا الله, the highest is a testament of لا إله إلا الله, and the least وأدناها إزالة الأذى عن طريق, and the least of Iman is to remove obstacles from the way, on the way of people, from the roads and stuff. So this is an action, but he put it in the branches of Iman. So that's what we say in ayahs and hadith. We go through ayah and hadith and try to understand what really it means. So the scholars, in fact, concluded that Islam and Iman, if they are mentioned in together in ayah or hadith, so Islam means actions, like manifested actions, and Iman means inside the actions of the heart, in the heart, whatever in the heart, whatever inside the heart. That is if they came in the same context, in the same text. If they are separated, then Islam, if Islam comes alone, it means all the actions and it includes all the inner. And if Iman was mentioned alone, then it means all whatever believes in the heart, and it includes the manifested actions as well. So they put it in a qaida, in a rule, Iman and Islam. If they get together, they split. One is this and one is this. And if they split, they include each other. They are together. So it's easy. If they are together, they split. If they split, they are together. So that's how you can imagine it. It's very easy to memorize. You know. So this is the rule that came from studying the different words. Like I said, Arabs at the time of Rasulullah, they didn't need that. They knew when it comes like this, it means this. It comes like this. They didn't know the sheikh to tell them. It's embedded in their own language, and it's their own way of talking, because it's not only the linguistic, it's also the narrative, the way they talk, the way they conveys the sentences. That's what includes in that. So that was the first point I wanted to point out for you. It's very important to make this distinction. It's so important to actually know it. Go back. I don't know if you have text or not, but you go back and read the proofs and memorize the proof. Try to memorize as much as you can with the words, the Arabic words. Now, the second point we are going to talk about is what what scholars titled in books and literature, Iman is قول وعمل يزيد وينقص. These are two parts. Iman is قول وعمل. Iman is actions, is sayings and actions. قول and عمل and actions. And the other part is it increases and decreases. And each one of these parts we're going to study to know what are the proofs, where are this rule come from, why they understand this, because it's very important for us to know that iman qawl wa amal, because to tell you the truth and what happened, the the understanding of iman was one of the two reasons. There are only two reasons that split nation to 73 sects. Two reasons, not a third one. Two. The first one is the conflict that happened in regards to the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That split nation to Jahmiyyah, that split nation to Mu'tazila and all this kind of thing, names and attributes of Allah. The second one, which is maybe even bigger impact, with the understanding of Iman, believe it or not. So how easy it is? The understanding of Iman was the second or the first or one of the two pillars of splitting Muslim to the sects, which is how to understand Iman. And they get that conflict starting from قول وعمل, from the iman is saying and actions. That's the main thing that split our nation since the first century. And we see the results until now. Over 1400 years, Iman was the understanding of Iman, that simple thing, causing us all this pain. So that's why I'm saying this. It's so important to know what it means and to know why it means that, from where, and why others are wrong about it. Where? Why Ahl Sunnah said that, and why Jahmiyyah said that, and why Murji'ah said what they said. And that's inshallah what we are going to discuss in this course, to know the truth, to know the right, and to recognize the wrong, because knowing the right is not going to protect you from the wrong. You have to know both. You have to understand why wrong is wrong, and then that will strengthen what you know about right is right. Without that, understanding right is very weak. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ. And he put يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ first, to know the wrong first, to take out the wrong ideas and the wrong thing first, before you know وَيُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ. It comes first, to know what wrong is. That's why Sayyidina Umar said that Islam will be okay until some people grow in Islam without knowing what Jahiliyyah is, because they didn't live it. They don't know what it is. So they don't know what they're wrong. So it's so easy for those who live like this to do the wrong. So easy, because they don't know it. And like we said, how do you avoid what you don't know, what you are ignorant of? How do you believe that it is wrong? How do you believe in it? It's ignorant. So that's why we have to, we are going to expand on the saying and the action, Iman saying action. So the Ahl Sunnah said Islam is is قول, say, and عمل, action. قول, the first is قول القلب, the saying of the heart, in the heart, and the saying with tongue. To to say with the heart, like when we sit and you say Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allah, Alhamdulillah. This is the say of the qalb. The total, the overall submission of the heart is the saying of the heart, the submission of the heart. When you submit the heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is qawl al-qalb, the saying of the heart. You know, the qawl al-lisan, qawl al-qalb, we said qawl al-qalb is the submission of the heart. قول اللسان, the tongue, is to say لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. And we understood from Tawheed that it's not that you just move your lips with the words and get the air out to pronounce the words. No, it's say La ilaha illallah. There is no one to obey and to submit to, which is Islam, submit to, except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with all how the Arabs used it, what we talked about in Tawheed, what you know in Tawheed. So so this is قول القلب, قول القلب وعمل وقول اللسان, قول القلب وقول اللسان. Now the actions, because Iman is sayings and actions. So the actions is by heart again, by tongue again, and by limbs and the body, the actions, what we do, how we act. So the actions of the heart is the feeling fear of Allah, feeling thankful to Allah, feeling dependence, reaching for support of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, الحمد, الشكر, المحبة, الولاء, التوكل. All these meanings, الخوف, fear, الرجاء, like making رجاء, making like hoping for acceptance from Allah, hope. You know, all these meanings is the actions that happens by heart. So the saying of heart is the submission of the heart, and the action of the heart is the fear and love and thankful and all these things. The actions by heart, actions by tongue is you read Quran, you make dhikr, tasbih, this kind of actions is how you do Iman with your tongue. Do Iman with your tongue. The Iman by body and limbs and the actions itself is like praying, fasting, giving zakat, jihad, all what we do in action is the actions by body. So that's an overall look at what Iman encompasses, which is saying and action. Saying is heart and tongue, action, heart, tongue, and body. Each one of these we do actually. There is no real physical distinction between them, because the submission of the heart, you will fear Allah right away. You feel it's just we had to do this. Ahl Sunnah had to do this distinction, like in the 2nd century, in order to show the wrong understanding of those people of bid'ah who started to say, oh, actions by heart doesn't matter. If you're doing the actions of Islam, that's what Allah wants. That's what Iman is. So they had to come out and say, no, 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 look at these ayahs, look at this hadith, look at this. This is what Iman is. And some said, oh, if you have the belief in heart, like Murji'ah and Jahmiyyah. Some said, if you have this submission of the heart, overall submission of the heart, it doesn't, you don't have to say the word. Even if you never said la ilaha, and they told you, we're going to kill you if you don't say so. No, I'm not going to say it. So this person who does that is killed as a kafir right away. It doesn't mean anything that he claims that he has submission of the heart. So it was a must to do all this distinction and made all this, these kind of distinctions in order to explain where the wrong concepts were embedded in the bid'ah people, and how to defend our عقيدة, our real عقيدة, العقيدة بأهل السنة, which we just explained. قول وعمل، قول القلب وعمل، قول القلب والقول by قول القلب وقول اللسان، والعمل by القلب واللسان والجوارح. If anything of these things doesn't happen, Iman can fall. And that will be the second part we're going to talk about, which is increases and decreases. The absence of some of these can destroy Iman completely, get you out of, like Amal al-Qalb, like Qawl al-Qalb. If your heart is not in submission, do whatever, say La ilaha illallah and make zikr and fast and pray. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we can never tell you don't have submission. Because Ahl Sunnah make a judgment with what we see. الظاهر. نحن نعمل بالظاهر. We act according to ظاهر, what we see. We don't say, oh, your heart has no submission. But I'm praying, I'm saying this, I'm reading Quran, I memorize. No, your heart has no submission. That doesn't work. But in front of Allah subhanahu, if it happens, then you will lose everything. The person who does that is a kafir. So there are things in Iman components that if there is a lack of this, lack of everything. And there are things, if there is a lack, then there is a decrease in Iman, which we will go into talk about. We have a lot to discuss and talk about. But I think it is enough for you, this amount for today, and inshallah we will continue our explanation of Iman and talking about a lot of different things, and we will inshallah discuss the two, like I said, explaining the truth is one thing, and revealing the wrong ideas and concept is the other part. So we are going to discuss the Murji'ah on one side and the Khawarij from that side, which is the two concepts that conflicts with Ahl Sunnah, so we know what it is. So we have a lot to discuss later on, inshallah, and we will meet next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.